Tuwa.
No. So Tuwa. Tuwaga.
Tuwaga.
Yeah.
But what's the
Okay, ready?
Tuwaga?
Welcome to the Circus Podcast. You're here with Edward,
Hello.
Min,
Hello.
and me, myself, Jess. Okay, what are we talking about today?
So today our topic is social media a new religion? So we're going to try and break this down by first discussing and building a shared understanding of what a religion is. Okay. And what a religion means, what are the characteristics of a religion. So we've got like a little bit of an idea of what we're trying to fit social media into. Okay. So I guess my question would be, based on your observations, understandings, educations, like how do you see a religion? How would you define a religion? How do you think about a religion?
Well, I think a religion, like what it is in its core, is something that people believe in, right? And there's a set of like deities or God that creates rules how to live Earth. Like for example, you can't kill, you can't covet, whatever.
Yeah.
And those are the rules that these people who believe in it follow.
Okay. Okay.
And I think tech companies that own kind of specific social medias, right? In a way, I guess the company's equivalent of that is the company's TNCs, their content moderation, all the guidelines are God, right? And their users are the people who believe in this religion. So if they want to use, for example, insert social media here.
Yeah, we don't want to get delisted, you know.
Yeah.
We want this to be available on all platforms.
Yes.
So pretty much companies are God and the people who are users are the, what would you say, like religion goers? Followers. Yeah, they use exactly the same words, followers. And like the influencers are people who kind of know about the certain kind of industry the best, so you follow them, right? So the Pope is like is like the influencer.
The preachers.
Yeah, the preachers are the influencers. So in that sense, yes, I think social media is religion. What do you guys think?
Okay. I think
Damn.
it's also got grounds to stand on, in the sense that, like, for me, religion is partially like a way of, how do I describe this? It's like a way of living life, right? It's like the Bible specifically says, you know, like, be kind to your neighbors, you know, like, this is how things should be done, right? And in that sense, kind of following on from like Jesus' like followers and like you've got influencers who are saying like, hey, these are the things that you know, I think are good, that I think, you know, you should do, I think you should follow, right? So in that sense, it also kind of seems to fit the criteria for me. Would you disagree with it? Do you think that's too like platformy, or do you think it's like an actual religion?
So I think religion for me is a belief system. So that's where we start.
Okay.
It's how we understand the world in some way. So there is some form of like a knowledge structure. So like Buddhism, for example, it shows about reincarnations and rebirth, and then we are born into different things. That's how we just understand the world. Evidence, let's talk about that another time. But you know, that's how they see it. Like with Christianity, they see the, you know, heaven and hell, afterlife, and then the current life is the, you know, like kind of like a test, and then you go to different places. That's how they understand the world. So there's some kind of knowledge structure, and for religion, there's some kind of higher power. So like God. Or for Buddhism, actually, there's no really much of a higher power, but it's higher power. You can be the higher power, like enlightenment. And there is a moral code, as Edward just mentioned, how to live. You shouldn't kill people, you shouldn't take away someone else's wives, or have many. Depends on what religion you believe in.
Yeah.
And then it builds the political system of like, how should we act in a society, and how should we, it gives identity. Like what Jess, I think, was talking about, that it gives who we are, and we belong into the community, the culture, the association. So, being that, I think it fulfills some of the criteria, especially around the identity, a sense of community. Like, social media is in a way that it's a platform, but then what another thing that is, I think is its function is that it gives us who we are. Because like when we talk about let's say I ask someone, hey, do you use Instagram? And the person goes like, no, I do not use Instagram. What is wrong with you? But that's the conversation we had. And that was the Facebook before, but now it's more of an Instagram, right? I'm like, oh, why do you not use it? Like that's so weird, you know? Like, but when we say, oh, do you have Instagram ID? Yeah, that's normal. We treat it as normal, and that in a way is that identity that is built, and that it's a social norm just even to use it. So yes, I think that aspect definitely is covered by social media. So how can we call something a religion if it just facilitates another religion, a religion?
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying social media has some of the characteristics of a religion, but it is in and of itself not a religion because it has religions within it / on it. Like it can't be a religion itself.
Yeah, how can we believe in social media, if that makes sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because I think the important thing that we started our whole podcast with starting is that religion is a belief system. We believe. It's something we have to believe. How do we believe social media?
Yeah.
How do you think we can actually believe social media? This is actually an open question. It's a genuine question.
Because a set of rules that are given by the algorithm gods. If your content's good, they favor you. And that's kind of a way to believe in a certain social media. I think that's why my argument is, yes, social media is a religion that contains many little religions underneath. But they still, in order to succeed in the world of social media, right, they have to adhere to the social media rules, which is like, don't post any like bad content, which is like gore stuff and and whatever people or whoever set these rules, right?
Yeah.
Says not to do.
So in the sense, there is a belief system with social media, and there are values associated with social media, which are like propagated through the T's and C's and through the algorithm. So like if you are participating on social media, not just consume, but probably post more from the angle of posting content, there is a certain value system or belief system that you need to adopt in order to be successful.
Correct.
Because that's what the algorithm
Yeah.
will prioritize.
And to add on to that as well, if there is no believers in a certain religion, then the religion wouldn't exist. So if there weren't any users, any social media users, it means that social media can cease to, can no longer exist. I don't remember who said this, but attention is the new currency. Right? So with religion, like if you give your time by volunteering to serve the other members of your religion, it's the same equivalence to the users on social media who use their time to post content, view content, and consume.
If social media is a religion because there's terms and conditions, and there's a algorithm which constantly enforce that set of rules and the belief system, that is a country, a government, a religion as well, because there's a legislation for code of conduct, how we should act, and there's constant enforcers like police. So is a country then a religion?
Damn. I mean, I guess you could put it that way.
Okay.
Because, again, it boils down to a higher power with followers who who consume their content and live according to their rules. It is equivalent to the politicians who create this set of rules for people to live in. If you want to live in that country, you gotta follow the rules.
Yeah.
Which is same as social media.
And it changes how we act because within the code we gotta find ourselves in a position.
Exactly.
So instead of like a god or deity you can't see, it's just in the.
Oh my!
Oh, she resigned.
Oh,
Well, like,
really pandering to a specific audience there.
is Trump coming back? We'll be back soon.
Maybe by the time this podcast makes it out.
No.
So is a country. I think that's a pretty scary thought to think about.
Yeah.
But coming back to a point though about Jess though, about the algorithm, right? Like I was thinking like an extension of that would be, well, who's setting the T's and C's? Who's setting the algorithms, right? They're gonna be the executive members of companies, right? Like they have some influence over what the terms and conditions are, right? So what exactly is it that you would need to be believing in as a participant of social media? Like what are the values and beliefs of the religion of social media?
True.
You know, thirst traps? Right? Like I don't think we can deny that. Right? So
It got my attention.
so
It got me believing.
well, so like my thought was like, okay, well, does that mean OnlyFans is also like a you know what? So like physical. So does that mean that this religion is promoting physical attractiveness?
My new religion is feet.
So like right, because you know that like the whole like beauty what is it what's it called
Beauty standard.
pretty privileged.
Oh, pretty.
It's a thing, and I think definitely it applies to social media, right?
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So if you are more physically attractive, there is a higher likelihood that you will be successful on the platform.
Yes, definitely.
Right. I'm sure. I don't know if the algorithm can pick up on that, but I'm sure perhaps within the underlying analysis it knows. What else would this like what else are like values or beliefs that like the algorithm would be pushing?
I think the algorithm also just pushes what you already believe in. So for example, you like cooking, right? So the content you consume would be like cooking content. So obviously it's just enhancing or kind of like drilling down what you already like so that you like it even more. And I think because of that, you're creating your own religion.
Yeah.
You create a religion within a religion. Wow.
It's going kind of deep, eh?
Yeah, this is going meta now. Damn.
But if you flip that to what is not allowed to be posted on, right? Because that is clearly a steer. From
Okay,
the
yeah,
TNCs
yeah.
on what values or beliefs is. So what is banned?
Child pornography.
Okay, so
Fake news.
What is fake news banned?
Okay, but then the workaround. Wait.
What?
The work around it is satire news, right? Like for example, the spaghetti monster.
Ah, yeah.
Like the religion. Like I feel like it's such satire that it's accepted by people. Posting satirical things, like for example, like fake news, like the tomato, like what is it, like the tomato news or something like that?
Oh, the onion news.
The onion, when people are like, oh my gosh, is this real? But it's a satire. Then it's acceptable even though it's fake news. Kind of like the spaghetti monster where they're like, well, we think science is number one and we don't like how religion is posing as science. But because it's so funny and so like digestible, people just consume it like, oh my gosh, do you know this like fake religion? Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So actually it seems like the values and belief systems are pretty loose. But I guess if we come back to the point about like our government's like the ultimate form of religion, right? Like if you take us on your history lesson then, right?
Oh yeah.
What was the original purpose of
Religion.
like religion?
Because religion was created before there was science.
Yeah, way before the empirical way of thinking about life. So religion is simple. Where when we used to live in caves and mountains on the dirt, so it's a way for us to understand the world. That's how it always starts. It's a way we gather information. That's how we understand the world. And as we start to understand the world, we are scared. Especially when we don't have cars, we don't have houses, we don't know whether we can eat tomorrow. Is this berry poisonous, or somehow there's a lightning strike? We didn't know this, and to understand and grasp all the information, as well as not to be fearful of those, we create a knowledge, and that knowledge starts to be religion. Oh, thunder is because someone up there that we cannot see is is warning us. Yeah, angry. Yeah. Oh, like a sea is there's far away something. It starts as a knowledge system, and then because the story gets built, how they understand the world is built, then there's always a moral code. Oh, so angry is God. Yep, thunder strike. We know when thunder strikes. So what do? We sacrifice our lamb, because God will love that, don't they? Yeah. And then that's a moral code. And then when there's a moral code, then you want to spread it around, because everybody should believe in this, and if everybody believes in it, everybody will be fine. Like Christian mindset. We just kill anyone who's not Christian, and we'll be fine. We'll be in a happy world. Crusade. Yeah, that's what crusade was, right?
Yeah. It was.
And that's how they spread around the whole different religions and their legislation system, their culture, and then that's the cycle. It gets built as the time goes, I believe.
Right.
And of course, the limitation is that knowledge system gets updated pretty fucking often because we're humans. Yeah. And then sometimes the knowledge doesn't get updated enough. There's collides with our world. For example, Bible used to say, now it doesn't say in modern Bibles anymore, the earth was 6,000 years old. Now we know the science. Somehow every Bible took that part out. Woohoo! Where is it? We don't know. But that's the knowledge system aspect of the religion, I guess. That's my historical understanding of how religions are formed.
Right. And what about its relationship to like the monarchy? Because I know I was reading a book where they were talking about how the church is an advocate for the monarchy or the like power and political system, right? Like they've always been like very tightly coupled.
Yeah.
How did we go from just having like what was the I think I've just got a little blank in my mind between having religion and how do religion and like power come together.
So let's say imagine you're a king and you're a queen. Let's imagine you guys are king and queen, and you guys
as you should.
You guys don't have horse.
Yeah.
You guys walk around everywhere.
Okay.
Nobody has horse. Nobody has mode of transportation.
Right.
You guys don't have even language.
Okay.
Let's just say that. That's the basic language. You guys don't have written language. Yeah.
We're like the same as over.
Yeah.
So there's 10,000 people under your rule.
Okay.
How the fuck would you tell them to follow the rule?
So I pretty much can be like, look, I'm allergic to grass, so you can't touch grass.
But
something like that.
isn't that it's like instilled in them from like education from
That's what I'm saying. That's the education.
right.
The religion is the education.
Right.
How you tell them that you shouldn't kill each other. God says not to kill each other.
Right.
Just tell it to everyone.
Right.
And they just tell their children and their children,
Right.
their friends, their family.
Stories.
Because God is real. So you make everybody believe in God and tell them the code. And then what's the point then? How are you the king? What gives you the power? What gives you authority?
It's like God can speak through me. So
I am the prophet, yes.
Oh.
That's why I can say these words. When humans have religion, they start to use it. Like this way. But there's the political elements comes in. So now at that point, after a while, they set up a law because everybody used to fucking see and read. And now you guys have religion. So now you guys have written language.
Yeah.
Queens and kings have written language. Now you guys want to write the rule, right? You guys wrote the rule, how we should do, how we should tax, how we should not kill each other. You guys wrote it down. People still believe in religion.
Okay.
They still follow the moral code.
Okay.
When church says one thing, they follow more than the law.
Right.
So what do you do as a king and queen?
Have a partnership with them.
Right.
So I want to marry this person. Can you say this? Okay. So the people are okay with it. They still follow me.
Right.
That's basically England history.
That's England.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why they were always so powerful. Because church, the power was the people, the believing in the religion itself.
Right.
Because if church say something against the rule, they will still choose the church.
Yeah.
Or some people choose the rule against church. That's why they were always in the same equal level, talking with each other. And the science came, the history and the religion started to be weaker because we didn't need religion anymore. We were just like, oh, A plus B equals C. Oh shit, true, that makes sense. We can actually see that it exists.
Yeah.
So we don't need religion anymore as a humanity. So that's where all the atheism is coming out and Nietzsche being like, fuck Christianity kind of concepts. But anyway, that's the partnership history.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Give a man a fish and they'll eat for a day, but teach them how to fish and they can eat for a lifetime.
And their children, and their children.
Yeah.
And that eat for a lifetime is basically how to survive in the society that they're born in without.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the worldview, understanding how to navigate reality type component of religion, right?
Fun thing. Just have a thought. Now everybody's religious. Everybody has a code, right? Someone just goes like, don't believe in the religion. That's society. That's a fucking fuck thing to say, right?
Yeah.
Because that's basically saying, I want to kill all the people.
I think it's like I want to kill everyone, but it's more like I don't believe in what you believe in because I think this is stupid because I'm above everyone else. It feels like that to people who have the religion, even though the person who said that might not mean it that way.
Also, it's scary for other people to see that person because
Yeah.
that person would not have that embodied value in them as the same as everybody else. So we don't know what's expected of them. So people get scared of them.
Yeah, because they're outliers.
So they kill like Christians, crusade, woohoo!
They're like industry disruptors and business. I don't believe in long form content, so I'm gonna make short form content and make that popular.
Oh, and that becomes a new religion.
Yeah, that's how social media is. They're like, I don't believe in traditional media, and I think there's an easier and faster way to communicate, which is why I created digital media, and that's why you should follow digital media, because it's better than the old way of living. Tying it all back.
Ah.
So yeah, arguably, my point still stands that social media is a religion.
That's really interesting, actually. That's really, really interesting because, like, coming back to Min's original, right? Like,
Yeah.
when religion starts,
Yeah.
you said you gotta spread it. You gotta
Yeah.
get everyone to buy it.
Yeah.
It comes back to what you said about Instagram, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, it's well known that there is a critical mass where, like, a social media platform will take off.
Mhm.
Like, for Twitter, they saw that, like, was it Twitter? Facebook. If you had more than, like, 10 friends in the first week of using it, like, you were gonna be a committed user, and, like, you're just gonna, like you'd stay on the platform,
Mhm.
and that's how they, like, branch out, right? But it's like a well understood, like, critical mass, right?
Mhm.
Before they go exponential, right?
Mhm.
And is that not also similar to, like,
Very similar.
spreading
Yeah.
religion and, like,
But also, it's like when, tying back to what you said
FOMO.
before, if someone said, oh my gosh, you don't have this social media platform, and then you're fucking crazy, because it's like, I can't live without it, how can you live without it? And like, it's the same with kind of religion.
Religion, yeah.
And then people who use it are like, oh, you think you're better than us. We're like, no, I just don't need it. I don't use it because it's not valuable for me. It is for you, good for you, but not for me.
if religion is all about, like, getting people to think sort of in the same way, right? Do you guys feel that there's a bit of a power struggle going on at the moment in the US between government and social media companies?
I guess so. I guess it's more like the traditional power, right?
Yeah.
Like the government versus the new digital power, social media companies. And that's why they have a clash. Yes, social media companies are working under the legislation, but because the legislation never knew about what power could come ahead, they don't know how to regulate them. So now they've bypassed kind of a lot of the regulations because they're like, oh, there's holes here, where I can get money here. And it's still within your laws. And they're like, oh no, fuck. Like, that was for the old, like, system that we had. And we're now needing to catch up with this, but because it's such a fast industry and it's always changing, and we need so many approvals from different kind of different parties. So the parties aren't working together. Even within this own kind of religion, there are sub-religions that are against each other, right? they can't come to a conclusion to, I guess, terminate the enemy. And even here, it's the same because you have, that's why everyone is fighting over short form content. Everyone is fighting over having everything on their platform.
And this sounds a lot like the church, right? Back in the time.
Back in the time.
Yeah, back in the time when the countries or legislation was fighting against church, like they were fighting, trying to take oppress them or like partnership with them. But maybe what they're actually happening in US is they're trying to oppress them down, like similar in China, where they have actually oppressed them down. So maybe social media is actually like a religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. What is real?
Attention is currency.
I think it still a little bit misses the content itself, like a Bible, like like the actual information, or like a like Quran, or like what to believe in. I think that's determined by the what users inside or the posters of the actual like publishers. But in some ways, yes, it's more very similar to church.
Like you can lift that.
Okay.
Oh, it's more like a church.
Okay,
It's not a religion itself. I would say it's more as church. Actually, sorry, yeah.
Let me ask you this. How many people actually believe in a certain religion and follow the books of that religion? No, they just hear it from other people like, don't do this, 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 and this, and you're fine, right? Same with like, who the fuck reads terms and conditions? You just know you don't post pornography or, killing.
Yeah.
Like, there are rules that you kind of know, like, as long as I don't do this, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
In conclusion, is social media in your religion? I think, yes, it can classify as that, definitely.
And no, I don't think it's still missing some part, but I think it's more of a church, more the platform of the religion.
Oh, you still think it's more of a still?
I still think it's more of a platform, yeah.
I actually I both agree with Min, but also I think like my natural inclination is that it is a bit of religion. I don't want to be a cop out, so I'll give an actual answer.
It's
You give me
okay.
maybe, because we got yes, no, so you give me maybe.
Well, that means we've got a split bench. We can't have a split bench.
We can't
It's
split
okay.
bench.
Why don't we let you decide? You tell us.
You were
Do you think social media is a religion?
Drop it in the comments below.
No, but actually,
Yeah.
can you argue for me? Yeah, please, thank you.
Yes, please.
That would be
Okay.
fun. Actually, it's fun to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit, that was a hard topic.